Welcome to Veterans Corner. I'm your host, Jay Stoyan. I'm not a veteran, but I'm stepping in for our heroes, and we're looking for a veteran to host our show, Veterans Corner. I want to give a few updates before we introduce our guest. Documentary filmmaker Kim Saltarski is going to come on after our first intermission. But before we get to Kim, I just want to give some updates. We're out at the Invictus Games all week for 10 days. We had our very successful fundraiser on February 2nd. I want to thank the province of BC. I want to thank Legion 8. I want to thank Big Records and Tim Steinreich. Thanks a lot, Tim, for stepping up. Right now, we have our media team out there. We're posting daily. And I believe that the Disability Channel is the only accessibility production company filming and showcasing and editing the game. So I want to hand it to our team, accessibility team, Ali and Stephanie and Frank and Jessica, everybody out there. Right now, actually, we have a new cohort starting, and we are live on Facebook. And our class in downtown Toronto at our Witchwood Barn studio are actually watching the show right now because I can see them are commenting on our Facebook page. So wonderful. Really, thank you again. We're going to have on the show. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with documentary filmmaker Kim Saltarski. So stay tuned. You're watching Veterans Corner. Do comment. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show. You're watching Veterans Corner. On the show today, back by popular demand, we love having Kim on the show. We have documentary filmmaker Kim Saltarski. Now, I hope I pronounced your last name okay there, Kim.
Yeah, you got it right. And it's great to be back and chatting with you, Jay. It's, it's been a while ever since my documentary, Andre the Anti-Giant, that connected us. And then just, been following all the great work you're doing on the channel, and especially focused around veterans. So it's really nice to be here.
I appreciate that. And we're really excited because I know we had you on talking about this future documentary featuring and showcasing veterans for healing. Hey, I didn't wear the pullover by accident, of course.
No.
So do you remember take us through the thread line of when it kind of started and when you went out there, and tell us your experience out in the East Coast, Kim.
Yeah. So we're right now we've got the majority of the documentary shot. It's called About Turn: Veterans Transforming Trauma, and we focus primarily as our entry point into this incredible story, Fabian Henry, who was a 12-year veteran who served for Canada in many tours of duty, including Afghanistan. So we sort of focus on his incredible story of triumphing over trauma once he got home and really faced the demons that haunted him from his experiences abroad and the sort of military lifestyle that led to a lot of very challenging moments in his life. And unlike too many of his fellow comrades who took their life with suicide, Fabian sidestepped that destiny and really doubled down to clean up his life, find new purpose, and be ultra committed to finding a new path to help veterans in this country and hopefully around the world through his influence to find the right means to heal from post-traumatic stress.
Well, I have to commend you on that because I deal with veteran organizations and individuals. Our team does daily, and people don't realize what it does, what war does to people. They just don't get it. Like, I talk to so many veterans, Kim, that are struggling. They're struggling, and it's so sad because they are our heroes and they put their life on the line for our country. And at least we can do is make sure get them whole again and try and help them. So what you're doing, bringing the awareness, bringing this documentary, bringing brotherhood to the East Coast and across Canada and the world, I bravo.
Yeah, it's a thrill for me and my partner, co-producer and director Karen Haas. We're doing this together. So
how long were you out in the East Coast for?
Yeah, so we were there twice this summer, about 3 weeks, August to early September. And then we went back again November to Fabian's retreat up at Egypt Falls, Piper's Glen, for his very moving and powerful Remembrance Day celebration that he hosts every year. So we got to spend, two really incredible chunks of time, and we've got about 23 shooting days in the can. We're just it's a mountain of gold that we're mining through. It takes a lot of time. So our documentary will probably be an hour to hour and a half. We're in post production now, looking at a probably early fall release, just because we want to put the love into it and the necessary time that these incredible stories that not only Fabian's our entry point, and he
Yeah.
himself is an incredible documentary, but the incredible thing about Fabian is that his story is amazing, but he's the portal to so many other people of bringing them along through his incredible clinic and organization, Veterans for Healing, and the fantastic team he has. So not only are you going to see Fabian and his incredible story, but learn the story of so many others. Not only the team that he's put together, that's like sort of a world-class team of therapists, psychiatrists, doctors, chiropractors, practitioners, but you're going to really get to know the intimate stories of 3 or 4 veterans that we're focusing on, of their journeys, and so that's why we call it Veterans Transforming Trauma. All of them have, I would say, very challenging, horrific experiences, and we could just sort of focus on that. But the beautiful thing that Fabian, through his his powerful mission in life, to take that trauma and let's heal it as best we can. And a lot of people are still on their journey. We're all on our journey in this planet. We never stop to the very end, and we have highs and lows, and we just want to make the best of it. But the thing that's really revealed in it is how poorly our veterans are treated, I would say, by our government and the officials, and how the perception of veterans is really not in sync with the public perception. Everybody, as you know, wants to get, oh, we love our veterans. We love our veterans. Well, do you really? Because do you know what's really going on with them? That only 25% in Canada of our veterans have access to the benefits they deserve, and how tricky and complicated it is for them to get access. Once they do, it's really fantastic, and I commend the government for that. But what I don't commend, and what is shown in this documentary, is there's so many hoops to jump through that almost feels like it's designed to not give the benefits that you're due. So yeah, the documentary was amazing. That's just the overview, and I can talk about as we go, but I just wanted to lay that out there as the groundwork.
Well, thank you for sharing. I can tell through your passion that you're just really revved up, which I love. On the show today, we have filmmaker and documentary maker. We have Kim Saltarski. He tells us all about his documentary. So when do you plan to bring it out? And the channel is going to be right there to support you in media in any way we can. So
Yeah,
can you give us a little bit of a timeline, or it's still in the works?
It's still in the works, because we're just getting into our rough cut. So we're saying the fall now, but you'll be the first to know, Jay, because you've been an incredible supporter of veterans all along, and we were talking to you about this documentary before we even rolled a single frame on it. So we'll definitely keep you posted on that, and we're going to roll it out for a series of community screenings, and then of course. We're talking to various streamers and distributors, so we're going to go out there, but we want to, I think first we're going to roll it out, not just sort of blanking it across the world. We want to go sort of on a cross Canada tour, sharing this with veterans and veteran friendly associations to really get this. And ultimately what we're doing is we're just ultimately shining the light and piggyback on the movement that Fabian has started, with really shining the light of what a modern day Canadian veteran looks like, which is a reflection of the U.S. veterans and the brothers and sisters abroad. But then just to get a deeper understanding how we can help leverage the government just to right the wrongs that have been done to them, and shine a light on these beautiful humans who are really come from the depths of hell in some of their post-service experiences as veterans, and gotten through it, and shine the light on how that can be done. And that's very amazing. Fabian's come up with this 4-pillar system that also includes medical cannabis, which is a great foundation to get people off the negative side effects of pharmaceuticals that often don't work, but then getting to pillar 2, which is get a therapist, work out the demons in your mind and what has triggered that anxiety is like, oh,
Yeah.
and work through that. Then the third pillar is once you've come a bit more in balance, then how do you interact again with life? With the joy of life too. Do you like auto mechanics? Well, get together and let's fix a car. Do you like sewing? Let's get sewing. Do you want to do yoga? Do you want to do that? And then the fourth pillar, and Fabian's had amazing results with this, is wow, I can get back into life. How do I want to give back? Do I want to be a volunteer? Do I want to open this business? Do I want to go back and be of service? So many people just focus on one element. They just want to fix this and check the little check mark, you're okay. Fabian and his team, and he'll be the first to say it's not just the Fabian Henry story, it's an incredible team, have found a way to systematically and ethically take people through their journey and give them a sort of a range of services that's going to work for the individual, not a blanket one size fits all, because what may work for you may not work for me. And we may have been on the same battle, had the same experience, but we're going to manifest it differently. So yeah, boy, Karen and I are really excited by this.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we take a quick break? Because when we come back, I want to sort of give a couple shout outs, right? And then I want to change gears a little bit, but stay tuned. You're watching Veterans Corner. On the show today, we have filmmaker and documentary maker Kim Saltarsky on the show. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with Veterans Corner. The Disability Channel, showcasing abilities. Welcome back to the show. On the show today, we have documentary and filmmaker Kim Saltarsky tell us all about his upcoming documentary focusing on veterans for healing. Before we move forward, I do want to give a big shout out to Fabian. Fabian, I've met him a couple of years ago. Great guy, very driven, very supportive, a leader, leadership qualities, what he's doing for his fellow veterans, because he doesn't have to do it.
No,
he doesn't have to do it. He didn't have to do this. So big props. I also want to give a big shout out to Vince Campbell. Without Vince, I wouldn't know, well, I know Kim, but I wouldn't know any of the veterans that have been introduced. So Vince is like the connector of everybody across country. And I know he's watching too. So thank you, Vince. I also want to give a big shout out to Simon McInnes. He has a wonderful podcast, also a veteran doing wonderful things, all about journey and faith, love the Lord. So him, I want to give a shout out to our team out in the West Coast. Just so many people that have helped us. People down in the States, Project Die Hard. There's so many veterans, Kim, that are on our platform now. Why don't we do this? Can you share a couple stories that maybe didn't make positive stories, right? We want to stay positive with when you're out there with a veteran and just sitting around a campfire and just talking that didn't necessarily make it into the film, but it stuck in your memory. Like, wow, like what a conversation I had with Joe that evening by the campfire. Is there anything that you can share like that?
Wow, that's another 7 hours of of something, and we probably will get to that at one point. But yeah, there's so many. Even like you mentioned, Vince, who's in the documentary, And again, everybody that we had the privilege to spend time with, and Karen and I are non military people. We're just regular civilians, but we have big hearts and open minds. And so to be welcomed into this community, and the beginning, how we really met everyone was through Fabian hosts a annual wellness camp that he selects 8 veterans that are on his in his clinic that are doing well. And then we have sort of peer support of veterans who have gone through the program, like Vince there to support it. And I just remember Vince, Vince is a quiet, wise, beautiful soul. And his gift is his gift of music to take stories from the heart and put it into words. So I'm just sitting by the campfire. And again, like, we've shot so much material, this could be a mini series. So we're going to, it'll be a lot of tears shed when we get it down to 60 minutes or even 70. But Vincent just playing guitar by the campfire and other veterans singing along and stories from the heart was just so incredible. And then, so that's the wellness camp taking place in Inverness and Cape Breton, and Fabian being the ringmaster of beautifully orchestrating free time for people to get comfortable with each other. And there's lots of different ranges of people on their trauma transformation journey. But Fabian just makes it so easy and welcoming and takes away all the hassle, the stress of like, well, where do I sleep? And it's like super well done. We went on walks together, and Colonel Pat Stogan, who's a legend in the veteran community, former ombudsman, one of the colonels in Afghanistan. He was there for wellness camp, and what a trip it is hearing his take on stuff, and he doesn't mess with words. He lets
so
you
let
know
me
what
jump
it's
in
at.
here quick. So if we have veterans right now that are watching our show and they're looking for help, or they're looking for support, or they're looking for friendship, would they be able to contact you or Veterans for Healing or Vince or Fabian, or you know what I mean? I'm just wondering if people are watching, can they contact Fabian perhaps?
Yeah, Fabian, big heart. And I've, introduced him to people. I said, Fabian, can you please talk to this guy? And he'll do the best he can to do it. In terms of Veterans for Healing, it is specifically for veterans who qualify. But I think people outside of the province of Nova Scotia can come in. It's certainly worth a try. And our goal with the documentary isn't just to do one-off entertaining documentary that makes you laugh, makes you cry, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, and off we go. We want to create a platform, if things go as planned, that this is a place where veterans that you just described, who may not have the capability or the accessibility to happen to be living in Sydney, Nova Scotia, that are around the world, that can go as a resource. We even on our website, aboutturndoc.com, we have a resources page. It's the very beginning. If you have, let's talk about it, the word suicide. If you have suicidal thoughts, this is what you call. Do you want to learn how to better your diet? Do you want to learn how to breathe? So we have some yoga exercises there and all that. So we are trying to make a portal eventually, and that'll be part when we launch. We're not just going to launch a documentary, watch it, pay $5 for it, see you later. We're trying to create a movement here of support that we can go further. That's very challenging, but that's our aspiration.
So what I'll do then is, if people are watching or contacting me, I know Vince, I know Fabian, I know you, so I can sort of pass along the mention. I do want to give a biggest shout out to Veteran House Alliance International and Stefan
Yes.
Beardwood and Stavro. Great guys. We're affiliated. That's our charitable platform. Also, Fraser Newcomb. Did you happen to hear about Fraser Newcomb at all, Kim, out there?
No. What's Fraser's deal?
So Fraser, I bet you he's watching right now. He just got back. We just got back from the BC fundraiser. He performed out there. He's an 84-year-old veteran, and he's going on tour in Ontario in I think maybe about a month and a half, maybe in May, I think. But he is fabulous. He's played with everybody, and he's got such a soulful voice. He's 84 years old, and the guy's going strong.
I think Vince,
Fraser Newcomb.
Okay, and I think Vince, now that you mention it and you describe him, Vince, I think, turned me on to him. So that's great. And I do also want to give an extreme shout out to Stefan at Veterans House Alliance International. Without them, we could have not raised the funds to do the shoot. They're an incredible organization. So to have them and Veterans House Alliance giving us the access to these stories and supporting us in every way possible is one of the Well, it's just a great
I
gift,
agree.
and we're
They're
honored.
great guys. I'm wondering, will you have any promos available to showcase the documentary, that like teasers or anything like that?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. We have our own YouTube channel, About Turn Doc. You can see our existing short and long form sizzle, and we have a lot of YouTube shorts of Fabian, Stefan, and also another featured veteran, Zandra Pinette, who everyone like Stefan's a story in himself. You're a
Yep.
story in yourself, but and Zandra is really incredible. She was the unfortunate victim of a horrific military sexual trauma that took away 8 years of her life, and she's bounced back. A lot of thanks in part to Fabian being the first person to have post-traumatic stress disorder recognized in November of 22 as a critical disability. So she's finally getting some justice in the world, and she's an incredible story within the documentary, how she went from a damaged person to a person who's now a social worker and back on her feet, and
Love it.
despite all the things that worked against her.
So we do have our first question from our class. So here's a question from one of the classmates. Okay, where, and this is for you, Kim, where
Yeah.
can volunteers join the program of supporting veterans? So if they wanted to sort of get involved with the documentary, if they want to support you as a volunteer, is that a possibility?
Yeah, I would say, once we're just trying to be careful because right now we just want to make sure that we're close to the finish line. But Allie, no, our
Yeah, yeah.
counter.
Well, Allie's our teacher, but yeah, you can just
Oh,
say to Allie. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what we will be doing, and certainly we're going to have a follow-up call, spreading the word before we say, hey, we're going live. But this is a community effort, and we don't have millions of dollars behind us. We're bootstrapping this to get this done. So we will need volunteers. Maybe for community screenings, or if people have a certain talent and when we say, okay, we're going to launch in September 15th, maybe like 2 months before, we can say who can help on this, who can help on that. We appreciate the support. Right now we're just sort of keeping it low so we can make sure we have a cut that we're comfortable with, Fabian approves, and be very strategic. But I would say just follow us on aboutturndoc.com, our website. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Instagram at About Turn Documentary. So we'll be probably put a call out. But Jay, I mean, you're what you do is incredible for veterans, and you're such a sort of funnel for all this positivity. We'll certainly put the word out, and we appreciate people even thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll connect for sure. So again, before I let you go, Kim, please tell us the name of the documentary and where can people go to find out more information on it?
Yes, so it's About Turn, Veterans Transforming Trauma. And so you can go to About Turn DOC, aboutturndoc.com, and that way you can sort of see everything. It also has the link to our YouTube channel, About Turn Doc. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. So we're a little quiet now because we just got our head deep in, terabytes of footage. But once we know our release date, you're going to see it more. And there's a ton of stuff we already put on YouTube and our Facebook page, and reverberating all the great posts that everything that Veterans for Healing do.
And do share on our Facebook page, please. Do share because we will share away. We just got one last comment. Thank you for your beautiful inspiration.
Oh, it's my pleasure. It's really ultimately a pleasure that veterans, i.e. humans, would allow us into their lives and share their most intimate stories to shine the light. And, and for you, Jay, I mean, I know you call it the disability channel, but it should be the triumph over adversity channel. Like there's nothing like this. We all have challenges in life, some a whole bunch more, some that hit us just sideways like that without looking, others that we were born with, others that we can't see, but we know what's going on in here. And so you shining the light, we're happy to be part of that platform, and let's celebrate human triumph over adversity.
Well, thank you for the kind words, Kim. And you're always welcome on our channel. And everyone around the world is welcome on our channel. Able-bodied, disabled, doesn't matter. And the reason I call it the disability channel is because we are disabled and we need support. But give us support and you'll see our abilities. So thanks again, Kim.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna wrap the show. What a show. Thanks so much. So inspiring. We can't wait to see the documentary.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. Always appreciate talking with you.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be back with Veterans Corner to wrap the show. I got some cool updates, so don't go away. We'll be right back. So again, I want to thank documentary filmmaker Kim Saltarski for being on the show. Him and his partner Karen and the guys down at Veterans for Healing, Vince, Stefan, Fabian, Frazier, Stavro, all the guys down East Coast. Thanks, guys. We can't wait to support and promote and share the documentary. Before I let you go, I just want to recap our show. It's been a hectic 10 days. I want to give a big shout out to GSSS and Dave Stevens. We were down at the Super Bowl all week on Media Row, interviewing the biggest and the smallest names in the world. What a game. Thanks, Dave. Super professional. Great interviews. You can check those out all on our Facebook page. Then we're going to hop over to BC. I want to thank, again, everybody for the fundraiser. Chris at Legion 8, Mark, Tim, and Barry. Thanks, guys, and all the musicians. Now we're knee deep in the Invictus Games, and we are capturing some wonderful footage. Wow, it's great. We got videos, we got pictures, we got images. They're going to be all over our platforms, the Twitter page, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, our website. So I really want to thank the Invictus Games. I want to thank Scott Moore for letting us participate. We're still there. We're there to the end of the week. A couple of new things coming up. We do have our first telethon in the pipe. Ooh, yeah, we're going to be doing a telethon with our friends in the United States, showcasing and supporting veterans. So we're very excited about that. We still have to confirm a date and the involvement, showcasing veterans through music. So we got a big LA contingency that's going to be involved, the Midwest and Canada. Woohoo, very exciting. I just want everybody to know that I'm going to be sitting down with the Ontario Premier, Doug Ford, who supports and is our business partner for our employment programs for persons with disabilities and veterans. So we're very, very excited to sit down with Mr. Ford, the Premier of Ontario. We have a long relationship. I interviewed his brother twice when he was the mayor. So we're just continuing our relationship, our friendship. Great guy, great platform. Thank you for supporting persons with disabilities and veterans. We can always do more. Right? We can always do more. Want to give a big shout out to the Cleveland Clinic. Thank you for helping me out. Really appreciate that. What else we got going on here? You're going to see a guy named Stuart and his book coming out soon. Very exciting. Obviously, I want to thank the guys at SiriusXM for supporting the channel. I want to thank you for always tuning in. Our Facebook page is blowing up. We have a new cohort. Our employment programs for veterans and persons with disabilities going on right now in downtown Toronto in person and then the line. I want to give a shout out to all the new members, all the new cohorts, all of our teachers, Frank, everybody there. Thanks, guys. Wonderful day yesterday in the studio. I'm Jay Stoyan. We need a veteran to host this show because I'm not a veteran, but I'm hosting it until we get one. Again, we'll see you next time on the Disability Channel. Stay safe out there.